Welcome back to the Six Figure Mastermind. Marianne is right here for you. Hands on hips. What does it mean in body language? What does it mean for your business? What is this whole hands on hip thing? There's so much to body language, so stay tuned. I'm going to tell you all about it. You and I both know that body language plays a huge role in communication. In fact, it's 93% nonverbal and 7% verbal when it comes to body language. So that 93% is showing up right here. So let's talk about what the hands on hips mean, because it can be a myriad of different things depending on how they're situated, okay? So we're going to go through some specific examples of different positions, different hand movements, and we'll analyze each one and share with you what they all mean. So first things first, let's just go with the simple, straightforward hands on the hips and body language. Now, most of the time, the hands are right here on the hip line. Typically, this is done to enlarge your space in the other person's perception. Now, in the animal kingdom, you think about small animals when they want to protect themselves. You know, think of the peacock, for example. The peacock uses its fan to make itself appear bigger. A cat, for example, will arch its back to make itself appear bigger and more scary to the person or the animal or the predator across from them. It's an intimidation factor. So when people are putting their hands on their hips like this, it can be a sign that they're wanting to appear bigger in your perception so that they have a position of authority. Now, we take our hands and we've just pried them a little bit up like this. This means something totally different, especially if you're a woman like me. So this means I want to take up as much space as possible in a position of authority. This right here means I want to appear smaller to you, because oftentimes when we put our hands at our true waistline, not at our hip line, we are wanting to emphasize that our waist is smaller than it appears, okay? Especially when we have our fingers out toward the middle and our elbows kind of tend to sag back a little bit. So we are drawing attention to the smallness of the waistline, which sometimes can be a flirtatious technique, sometimes it can be an enticing technique, something that draws people in. You want to be more attractive to whatever that situation is, whether it even be a professional relationship where you're trying to attract a good professional relationship, or you're trying to attract in a dating relationship. That's what that can mean. Now watch what happens if I take my hands and I turn them around. What just happened? Did you notice that? Did you feel it? If I took my hands from here and just turned them around, now I'm back into a position of authority because I've got my hands in fight mode, okay? They're fists right here on my chest, my waist. So I am taking my arms, I'm making my space as big as possible, and then I'm taking these little fists right here and saying, not only am I in a position of authority, but I am stronger than whatever is in front of me. Right? So if you see someone with their hands out like this and their fists are made up in bunches by their waist, just get a clue that they're trying to have some kind of control over the situation. Maybe they're feeling intimidated in some way and they're trying to fight back with that body language. Now watch what happens if I shift my weight in my legs, okay? I'm going to shift my weight and put my weight on the back leg and put my hands right back down here on my hips again. See the difference? We start out here and we go to here. This is a very space-taking technique like we talked about before, but if I suddenly pop my knee forward and I tilt my hips just a little bit, I've gone from a domineering body language position to a bit of a flirtatious body language position. This is a more open position. When you're confronted with a person one-on-one and it's squared up, shoulder to shoulder, it's almost like, come at me, bro, like I got this, I'm gonna take you down, right? But if I open the body just a little bit by putting that knee forward, watch what happens to the shoulders. One naturally goes back, which means, hey, I'm willing to face you in confidence, but I am not confronting you. I'm not putting up a wall. I'm not being confrontational with you. I'm willing to be open to your ideas and also let anything that's negative from you deflect past me. Okay, so it's a little bit of a more open body language. Now, I've got the right hip forward, which all we know is the future, right? And if I were to the left hip forward, it says something different. Okay, it says a little bit different of energy of left forward is the past, right forward is the future, okay? So maybe left forward could be, you know, I have a history with you, I have a past with you, we have a connection or a chemistry, let's work with this. Right foot forward could mean, wow, I would really like to work with you in the future. I see us going places together. Okay, so left and right, past and future, even those subtle little things can make a big difference. Keep in mind, whenever you see your hand on the hips, pay attention to what the hands are doing. Maybe hands on hips sometimes can be in the pockets. This can mean that they are uncomfortable in some way or that they have something to hide. Now, even down to the subtle which fingers are in the pockets, this usually means that I'm uncomfortable in the situation, I'm not quite sure what to do with my hands, I'm going to hide a little bit of that. Now watch what happens when I put my thumb in my pockets. Totally different, right? A totally different feel from this to just this. The thumbs can often signify our sense of self-worth in the past and our sense of self-worth in the future. When we stick our thumbs in our pockets, we are hiding ourselves, not just hiding something from the person in front of us. Sometimes it can be, a way to show confidence by, if you can't see me, then you must think I'm cooler than I am, which is why a lot of people will stand with their thumbs in their pockets, right? I'm hiding my past, I'm hiding my future, so you can't see what I don't want you to see. That's a really very subtle but very powerful change when it comes to hand positions with the hands on the hips. So this hands on the hips, they can range from anywhere from way up here at the waist or way down here in the pockets. They all mean different things, and if you want to really study this, put this video on pause at those different moments and see what you're feeling, see what you're interpreting. In fact, write it down in the comments of, wow, when you have your hand on your hips, what does that mean? What do you feel as a viewer? Because you are more intuitive than you think you know when it comes to body language, and you have the ability to read in between the lines. What I am going to say is be very, very intentional with what you do. That the key to throwing away your ability to read body language is to talk about someone's body language in front of them. Your job as an intelligent body language viewer is to see the information and say, how can I best use this to benefit this situation? That's the responsible way to use it. So keep watching. We're going to give you more body language tips, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay, so now you have some of the key kind of fine points of what our body language means, and it really gets minute, doesn't it? It gets down to that millimeter adjustment. So we're going to do a lot more body language videos right here on this channel, so hit the subscribe button so you can catch all of it and really master this communication thing. I'll see you tomorrow.